Zen's departure was a tricky one where it kind of fell apart gradually but consistently. It was more just a conflict of approach in my opinion, where Zen wanted to do a lot more out of game and Misty and Fiber just wanted to play. And that kind of put a pretty hard split between the three of them. That kind of made things conflicting, and that Zen was frustrated they weren't doing things out of game, they didn't see the point of doing it. Things were moving in a way where it looked like we were going to split at the end of the season, but things obviously got worse than expected. People got more fed up than they anticipated, and the move happened before the end of the season, which led to me filling in. Me filling in didn't really change much in my opinion. I was always ready to fill in regardless of how things went. I'd done it in Split 1, I was ready to do it again in Split 3. If there wasn't any adjustments made, a lot of how we play is based on how I believe the game should be played, so it's pretty natural for me to fill in. As going from coach to subbing in, it's pretty natural to fill in around the lads, and they kind of tell me how they want me to play to fit into how they kind of tweak the way I ask them to tweak their own gameplay, I guess. The major was obviously a big one. It's the major. We all came into it with no expectations. So it's like whatever happens, happens. We had a pretty stacked group all round. We knew that it was going to be a tough fight to make it out of there. Obviously, we had Cringe, Ground Zero, Overt, and Riot. Riot, even with Scruffy, we'd struggled against. Overt, obviously, we hadn't really played them the whole split, so I was looking forward to that matchup. Unfortunately, we didn't quite clutch up the Game 5, getting reverse swept. The Cringe series was also a close Game 5. That was also, I feel as though we could have gone 3-1 quite easily on the day. We just didn't clutch up where we needed to in those Game 5s. Obviously, the Ground Zero series was a throwaway from us. It was our first series on. We didn't really take it too seriously. It was just a whatever series. And coming into playoffs, though, we kind of took everything a bit more seriously, but also at the same time had the same expectations of whatever happens, happens. At least we made top 8. From there, it was, okay, we've got Mind Freak. Pretty confident. We played Mind Freak a lot. We knew that if we played our game, we can get the win. It was just a matter of actually performing.
Well, let's start talking about this one, because Mind Freak versus Direwolves is coming up next here. Find out who's going to face off against the dominant Ground Zero gaming.
A lot of fun watching Ben and this whole Mind Freak team go to work. Fiber got the challenge on target, and nobody expected that to be on.
This one has been such a press from Direwolves in the final 30 seconds. They're trying to see if they can get one more here, Stacks. Fiber shot, blocked out, follow up, and 10! 0-second goal, and Direwolves are gonna take game 1. Maybe it is, part of the nerves coming in. That being said, no time for that, especially with Fiber on the ball!
And Requiem did not fall in behind him. More squandered opportunities now for Mind Freak. Fiber single-handedly plays the defense like a cheap violin.
We'll see what game 3 has in store for them, but they need something going soon because Direwolves keep going. It's Misty with the first one. Caveman being gonna try to move up here, but this one's gonna be played in the corner. Mind Freak with a chance there, and hopefully it's not one that costs him.
Misty on an open net, and I would be worried if I'm Direwolves, if Mind Freak ever start playing a little more recklessly, they might get an open look at the net. So Misty almost scored, Fiber does, and that might put all those concerns to rest.
A 4-0 wasn't exactly what we expected, but we all played very well, both individually and as a team. Everything clicked. We didn't really have any double commits, offense or defense. Very well spread out, very good boost control around the field. Everything was just going on all cylinders, and it felt really clean to play. I believe it was game 1, 0-second goal from Misty, and that was a nice way to start it off. No OT, just kind of clutch up last second. Get a good mental victory for us, and it can be pretty defeating getting that happening to you, especially in game 1 of a series where you're expecting to come out and you want to come out and 4-0 a team like us with me subbing in. 4-0 against Mind Freak, we're coming in on a high. It's Ground Zero. There's even less expectations for us to win this. There shouldn't have been any on us to beat Mind Freak in the first place. But that Ground Zero series felt a lot more winnable in the moment than it should have. Obviously, I missed a pretty easy open net early in the series, which could have given us that first game. That would have been a really big confidence boost. But regardless, that series was a lot closer than I felt it should have been. Especially playing them on Saturday, where they just destroyed us for a whole series, and then coming into Championship Sunday, they felt beatable. And then seeing them play Cringe in the grand final, they were like a completely different team again. I don't know if it was just a off series to them against us, or if we were doing something that annoyed them, but the series against Ground Zero definitely felt winnable in like the weirdest way.
Ground Zero again. In the final seconds, take the lead and take the series.
I wouldn't say there was any highlights off the top of my head. Misty with his little ceiling double touch bounce off the ceiling, off the floor and landing on it goal was obviously a weird goal. But the whole series, we were just having fun. We were laughing at things, mistakes, good things, bad things. We were just laughing at everything. Just having a good time regardless of the result. Obviously it's Ground Zero, we don't have any expectations. We just came in, played our game, had some fun, and it was a nice way to end the season. Even as a loss, it was a fun way to finish it off. It's going to be a fun and quirky off-season. There's going to be a lot of roster moves, in my opinion, that people might not be expecting, but might be expecting. It's going to be one of those off-seasons where you just don't know what's happening, especially how long it is. So I'm looking forward to it. Off-seasons and roster shuffles are always very fun to me. I love figuring things out, playing around with teams in my head, see what happens, see what doesn't. But for us, we'll just be chilling out. Right now, we're going to be focusing on finding a third, hopefully. But again, it's a very long off season. We'll see what happens. Thank you.